Hi, I'm Rhonda Evans. I am an artist here in Kingston, Ontario. I work in many different mediums. Some think that's quite chaotic. I think it's just making. And so I work in fiber, I work in wood, I will work in ink, I do acrylic, I do a little bit of oil. That's all new for me. There's not a medium that I'm afraid to try. So as an artist, I started my life in Newfoundland. I moved to Kingston when I was 18. I have been working in doing artsy stuff like all my life. My grandfather was an artist and a chartered accountant, and as a kid I got to use all of his tools, the best of everything, because if you own it, it's meant to be used, not to be packed away and not. So it didn't matter what I had in my possession, it was always things that were meant to be used. So when it came to me being an artist, I have my grandfather's paint box in my storage, and that's my part of my inspiration, is always having a little piece of him and his last palette. When I work, he always used to be telling me to just try it, and if it doesn't work out, it's not a big deal, just try the next thing. And so I always strive to do things that make me happy. I'm not someone that's going to just pick a medium and stick to it. I can't do that. There's too many things to create and to explore. So I'll have a moment where I'm working on maybe something with fiber, and then I'll think, oh, wouldn't that be cool if I produced it in, and it could be anything. And so I might stop in the middle of one thing and start another, and then go back to the last, and then start another. And eventually they all get finished, for the most part. But I really enjoy just the exploratory part of being creative and applying it to everything. Kingston has a really big art scene. I was really happy, and I've met a lot of people through just starting off in the graphics industry. That was the first knock on the door with Kingston artists and people in the profession, and then that slowly grew as having a farm. I've met so many people from being on the side of the road, and artists and people, and living and working here. A lot of people got to know who I was because of what I was doing already. Working with frameworks has been great. I've known Colin for a long time, and longer than he probably remembers me wanting to remember, but before he had kids or pre-kids, and he would drive to my farm on a bike and do vegetable gardening with me. I've known a lot of people circling through the art scene in Kingston from different things that I've done for a very long time. I've known people because of the Tet Center. I've known people from the Potter's Guild, the spinning and weaving, the lapidary, silversmithing, which are all different art forms at the Tet Center that people can go and see and become part of. You can take classes and learn all kinds of things. And then having a studio at the end, I had the opportunity to do my own work and be seen, as well as to teach classes there. And so that became a big part. I love teaching, and some people say those that can't do teach, and I think that's wrong. There's a lot of things I can do, but I really enjoy watching when someone learns to do something that they don't think they have any talent. And so I have a creative bone in my body. Oh, then let me show you how to do, and whether it's alcohol ink or it's painting with like liquid glass, pouring mediums, or needle felting, or whatever it is that I'm teaching at the time. I love when I can show someone a way to do something and they get to go, wow, I didn't know I could do that, and that they practically can teach my next class. I don't need to be there. It's really quite a lovely thing to see someone that doesn't believe that they have talent see that they can be creative. Teaching alcohol ink is a class that I teach with the Tree of Life, and I quite enjoy doing the Tree of Life myself, but I quite enjoy teaching it because people get to splatter and paint and play and have fun things that they can do with ink that they had no idea they could do. And I buy all of the colors and all of the things so that, I'll take one for the team, I'll try the things to make sure they're all good. And some of the stuff that I use is better than others, so I will tell everybody exactly what we use so they can go home and play and find something they can be happy to create in. A lot of the work I have at Frameworks is from alcohol ink pieces. They have to be treated properly. Ink will fade if it's not treated treated with a UV glass at the very least. So when I teach, I usually give someone a small frame to put their piece in, but it's not an archival glass. It's just a piece of glass, and I say keep it out of sunlight, otherwise it will fade. But if I'm going to sell something, it should be absolutely foolproof. So we do Mona Lisa glass, I call it, through Frameworks to have UV protectant, anti-glare, all of the things. And I'll put really fun, funky frames on them. And then, for example, my poster that we've made, beautifully, Kate made a beautiful poster for me for my show, and it's a piece of my ink work, but the original works are not always affordable because of how I have them framed. And this day and age, the way the world is, some people find that a little cost prohibitive to buy. So I'm a firm believer in prints, and Frameworks has everything and all the abilities to make recreations in prints that sometimes I have to look at a print that I framed and my original and decide which is the right one. Yeah, I usually can tell, but not always. They're really high quality prints, and it's on a metallic paper, so it gives a great sheen to my piece, which is done on a special paper with the inks that sometimes have metallics in them. Or I will use thread painting, and I use metallic threads. I try to run a theme through all the things I do, and metallic is one of them, so why not use metallic paper from Frameworks as your print medium? It works perfectly. And then if someone is doing classes with me, I will tell them where to go to get the right stuff, like Frameworks.